Good afternoon, everyone. I think we're going to wait just a little bit and make sure we've got everybody who RSVP'd. And I think we're all set. So I am going to kick off this webinar regarding the City of Albany IDA and CRC's RFP for legal services. I'll start with some introductions of, you have the three main staff members of said agencies with you. Again, I'm Andy Corcione. I'm the COO of both the IDA and CRC, and I'll flip it over to Ashley.
I wasn't expecting to speak. Hi, I'm Ashley Mole, president of Capitalize Albany and CEO of the Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. Thanks.
And I am Olivia Seawalk. I am a program assistant at Capitalize Albany, mainly working to staff the IDA and CRC.
Awesome. So I'm going to briefly talk about the IDA and CRC, and then I'm going to toss it to Olivia, who's going to quickly run through the high points of the RFP. And then, of course, the reason why we're all here is to field any questions. So without further ado, some of you may know who we are and be familiar with us. Some of you may not. Stepping back, both, I should say all three of us, Ashley, Olivia, and myself, are employed by Capitalize Albany Corporation, which is the city's 501c3 nonprofit tasked with conducting economic development activities within the borders of the city. As part of our roles with Capitalize Albany, we also staff the city's Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. Those two sister entities, the IDA and CRC, share a board. That board is separate and apart from Capitalize Albany Corporation's board of directors. The IDA and CRC board is a 7-member voluntary board, and it is appointed by the Common Council, and those members serve at the pleasure of the Common Council. I'm sure everyone here knows the powers and the limitations of IDAs here in New York State, so I'll gloss over that and get into a little bit of the specifics about the city's IDA. We are a high volume IDA. We work on a lot of different projects, most frequently either market rate or purpose-built affordable housing. But we have in our portfolio, we have industrial projects, commercial projects, and projects that have retail components to them. So we run the gamut in terms of the type of real estate development that we assist. One of the main reasons why we are such a high volume IDA, as I'm sure some of you may know, is the tax rate in the city of Albany. Although it has come down recently with the citywide reassessment, it is still predominantly higher than most of the other areas surrounding Albany, especially some of the suburbs in the area. So IDA assistance is typically necessary for a project, a real estate development project, to pencil here in the city. Similarly, the CRC is a fairly busy CRC. I think all things considered, there are quite a number of educational and healthcare institutions in the city, large ones at that have had good luck taking advantage of the CRC's ability to issue conduit bond financing, namely tax-exempt bond financing. So we do see projects somewhat frequently on the CRC side as well. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to Olivia to run through some of the remaining slides before we get into questions.
Thanks, Andy. So I'll just provide an overview of this specific solicitation. So the purpose of this request for proposals is to seek bids from qualified firms to serve as counsel to the IDA and CRC in the following areas as shown on the screen. So those are general counsel, general conflict counsel, bond special counsel, and bond special conflict counsel. So you can see in that footnote, conflict counsel is utilized on an as-needed basis in the event of a conflict of interest with primary counsel, or if specific expertise is required, not readily available to primary counsel. And bidders on conflict counsel should be qualified and able to perform the full scope of work as required of the primary counsel and set forth in this RFP. And moving on to that scope of work. So all of this is in the full request for proposals. So please refer to that for the full breakdown. But generally for general counsel, this will be providing counsel and advice on compliance with the rules and regulations governing IDA tax incentive projects, seeker, historic tax credits, all of the above. Providing advice on compliance with state and federal regulations, including PAAA, assisting with FOIL requests, and proactively advising in all legal matters with respect to activities of the IDA and CRC. In addition, attendance at all agency and board and committee meetings with participation as needed, in-person attendance as well. Typically, full agency board meetings are held approximately once a month with about 15 additional committee meetings throughout the year, and they are held in person at our offices in downtown Albany. So that is general counsel, and moving on to bond or special counsel. So generally, this will be providing support to staff when consulting with prospective applicants, serving as counsel in connection with negotiation and documentation of projects, knowledge of real estate transactions and relevant incentive products, and preparation of all required legal documents and correspondence required to execute agency projects, primarily including straight lease transactions and conduit bond issuances. And again, please refer to the full request for proposals for the full breakdown of this scope of work. Submission requirements also found in the RFP. This is an overview. Full requirements are in that document. So letter of submittal, acknowledging understanding of the requirements of the RFP, profile of the team and qualifications of relevant attorneys and other staff to be assigned to the engagement, as well as an approach, scope of work, and deliverables outlining methodology and strategy for the engagement, as well as a fee proposal for each area being bid on. So for general counsel, this would include billing rates for key attorneys, and bond special counsel is going to be, the proposal should be in line with the tables found in section D2 of the RFP. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, as well as the firm's bench strength and a desired start date. So of note, we anticipate conflict counsel starting as soon as possible, whereas general counsel will be, we're anticipating a January 1st, 2026 start date, as well as professional references and all of that. And again, refer to the full RFP for the full requirements. With respect to the fee proposal for bond and special counsel, these tables are found again in section D2. So for straight lease transactions, respondents should propose fees according to those investment totals. We have that broken out into non-pilot, so mortgage recording or sales tax exemption only, and then projects that would include a pilot. Over the past decade, the IDA has averaged about 7 real estate transactions per year with an average issuance of 17.6 million. And then for bond transactions, proposed fees for projects based on the investment totals found in table 2. We've averaged about 2 bond transactions per year in the last decade, excuse me, with an average issuance of 24.5 million. And then the timeline for this RFP. So this RFP was issued April 3rd. The informational webinar session is today, April 24th, sorry. We ask that all questions that come up following this are submitted by 5 p.m. today, and we'll have a FAQ document posted to our website by close of business on Monday, April 28th. Proposals are due May 15th by 3 p.m. And we expect to conduct interviews the week of June 2nd with finalists selected in Q3 of this year. For submissions, respondents should submit their proposals electronically by that 3 p.m. May 15th deadline. Submit to myself, Olivia Siwak, info@albanyida.com with the subject line proposal for legal services. So with that concludes the formal section of our presentation. We'll take a minute to allow you to enter questions into the chat. So any questions you may have, please put them there. We'll hold for a minute and then come back and answer all the questions. Thank you.
So we are seeing no questions. I can't believe that's the case with all these attorneys in the room, but maybe if there's any questions, please let us know in chat. As Olivia noted, they will be answered in writing as well and posted on our website. If there are no questions, we will note that as well. So speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. So we appreciate not only everyone's interest and time here today, but obviously all the work that you guys do out there. I know we all operate in the same field, so we appreciate your support regardless. And everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.